The Dom Life Podcast presents Real Talk,
a BDSM Back to Basics mini-series intended for listeners 18 and older.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk.
Back to the basics.
That's right. It seems like it's been a lot longer than a week since we've done this.
That's because the whole world blew up here in Kentucky.
It did. It's been some crazy weather.
Yeah.
As you can tell probably from both of our voices.
Yeah, we overdid it. Shoveling ice.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we're going to talk tonight about introducing dominance into your relationship.
Most of the time we're going to be talking about an existing relationship, how
Correct.
to get dominance into an existing relationship.
Yeah. Now this could be kind of tricky for people who have been in a relationship for many years that don't have that open line of communication like we have.
Especially sexually.
Yes. And there is a lot of couples out there that I feel don't communicate well. So we're going to try to throw some ways of introducing dominance into your relationship and try to see what kind of reaction you get from your partner to determine whether or not a dominant submissive relationship could be right for you. Of course, I want to start off with saying, first and foremost, if you really want to get a dominant submissive relationship, the best line is communicating.
Yes, but as we said, there are certain situations where being open can create some negative responses.
Yes, depending on your relationship, how long you've been with each other, how secure each person is in that relationship. It could be difficult. It could be a hard topic. It could be a very tough discussion. It could lead into getting angry, getting mad at each other. So we're going to try to hit some subtle ways.
Subtle. I like that word.
Of introducing dominance without your partner really knowing and reading their reaction
to the subtle
actions that you do to set up a future conversation of what you were doing, why you were doing it, and hopefully the reaction then comes a little easier and more acceptable than just coming right out and saying, I want to be dominant, I want you to be submissive.
I think long-term relationships, it can have a negative impact if a partner feels that, oh, I'm not good enough. What we've had, I've been happy, you're not happy. So I think that a good way to do it is doing the subtle, kind of covert introduction.
Yes. Yep. So first, to start off, one very simple act that you can do, and it also depends on what relationship you have. If you've been together 15, 20 years, maybe sexual activity isn't something very common in your life, and this may not work best to start off with. But if you have been in a long-term relationship and the sex is still there and the sex is still great, one of the most common moves that I like to do to kind of show my dominance while having sex or playing with each other or any of that, grabbing your wrists, putting them either at your head or above your head, and just holding you down by your wrist.
But not in a way that feels like I'm restrained. It's during sex.
Right.
It's during.
You make it a sexual move. You take your hands, and this is the subtle way of doing it. Take your hands, start at the side of their belly, start rubbing up their chest, across their tits, up to their shoulders. And from there, you start positioning their arms in the position that you want. either put their hands right beside their head or up over it, but continue rubbing all the way down. You don't have to grab the wrist. Interlock hands.
Right. That's definitely a sexual
Interlock your
thing
hands
without being.
and just hold them.
Yeah, I like that,
So
Pastor Nick.
that is a good little subtle way. And you're watching the reaction of your partner.
Do they start bucking harder? Are they moving
Are they
more?
moaning, facial expressions? Do they get a little grin? Do they start to close their eyes like they're melting? You know, so you can watch these reactions. The reaction may be their eyes may get bigger, like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's where you kind of back off a little bit. But that is just a good, smooth, subtle way during sex or any sexual activity to do. You're not technically restraining them, but it would be like holding hands.
Right.
Next time, try the wrists. Next time, move down to the shoulders. Just kind of hold their shoulders down. And again, you're watching their reaction. You're seeing how they react to it. Is it a positive reaction? Is it a negative reaction? Are you getting any reaction at all?
Right.
So that is a real good, smooth, subtle way. You can, and this don't have to be during sex. This could be you come home from work and you're just meeting each other. Walk up to your partner. And I say this for us, I'm the dominant, you're the submissive. So you're a female. Maybe a little different if you're the female and want to be dominant, your male's a submissive. But for a female that has longer hair, walk up to her, put your arms around her like you're going to hug her, and just run your hand up their back, up their neck, up to their scalp of their head, and just grab just a small amount, a handful of hair.
You're not yanking it. You're not pulling it. It's just about that.
Right. Your hand placement and just a little bit of pressure.
That makes me melt.
Yep. So,
every time.
And that, like I said, that could be done anywhere, anytime. Nice little subtle
I guess
move.
if you're a female, a similar move would be to put your hands behind your partner's head, even if there is no hair, and then and grab them, pull them towards you, because that gives you a little bit of that. I'm bringing you to me because I want to kiss.
Right. So, yep, that would be good. Getting them to where they will tell you when they're going to orgasm.
What? I don't know anybody who does that.
Really? And this could be a little more of an advanced. It's not as subtle, but it can be a little bit more. Well, you can
start with it being a little bit subtle.
Yeah, this is where you start.
Are you going to come? Are you going to come?
Asking them, are you going to? Or beforehand, just, you can say, I want you to tell me right when you're fixing to come. And on this, what you can take from this, build up to it, is orgasm control.
Right.
Get their reaction. Will they tell you, I'm about to come? And then have that orgasm. And start building and working your way up with that to getting them to ask. So if they're really good every time, oh my God, I'm about to come. After a few times, mix it up. Okay, I want you to wait till I tell you to come. Tell me you're there, but wait for me to tell you to come and get the reactions there.
Most of what we're talking about is a slow build.
Yes.
You don't want to jump in, depending on your partner and your relationship. You might want to take it a little bit slow. Do this a couple of times. Create a situation in which there is some rewards for the person that's doing the activity.
Right.
Like if I say to you, I'm about to come, don't pull away.
Right,
Don't get all.
And also for the guys, and this is a huge mistake guys make. I've heard it over and over. I've read it over and over. Whatever you're doing at that time, when they say they are about to come, do not change rhythm. Do not change speed. Do not change
Doesn't
intensity.
matter if you're drowning.
No, you keep exactly the way it is. Because with some women, and I've read it and I've heard them say it, that they don't want to announce they're about to come because then their partner changes it up. And sometimes the slightest movement of intensity or speed or
right,
position
you could take it away.
You take it right away. So Guys, huge point there. Not BDSM related, but huge point there. Keep going the pace and the pattern you're going to let them finish.
Another one was we did a whole thing on scene creation with a date night.
Yes.
And one of the initial parts of that was laying out their outfit.
Right.
So you generally know what your woman wears.
Yep.
Or your man. I mean, we've got a closet full of clothes. We share our closet, so it's pretty easy for me to go in there and you pull out the closet, pull out the clothes from the closet, lay it on the bed.
Right. And that's, in this instance, you're trying to be subtle about it. And it could be hey, I've got plans for this night.
I don't want to tell you where we're going.
Right. You're not going to know where we're going. I want you to be ready by this time. And I would love to pick out your clothes.
Right.
And in this instance, don't go crazy with the wardrobe.
Oh, let's not do the miniest, smallest little micro skirt.
Get something they would be comfortable wearing. That's the main thing. You want to make them as comfortable as possible. You don't want to start right off pushing the boundaries and the limits of wardrobes. So find something that they would be comfortable in, that you like to see them in. I'm sure every couple has a wardrobe that they love seeing their partner in. Pick that out, lay it out. This is what I want you to wear. And then take them on a date night. Don't tell them where they're going. To add to that, tell them, I'm going to open the doors for you. Make them wait at the car door.
Right.
To open the door.
I wait inside the car until you walk around and open it for me.
Yep.
Even when we're going to the club and you're pulling out 50 bags, I wait in my seat until you've got everything prepared and you'll come around and open the door for me.
Yep. Another way to introduce dominance, and this may sound a little crazy, but stay with me here.
Staying with you.
A blindfold.
Right.
But
mix it up.
It's not a blindfold to have sex with. Here's the scenario. Tell them you want to give them a sensual massage. Maybe you've noticed they've had a rough day. They're having a rough week. They seem a little tense. Tell them you want to give them a sensual massage. You want to relax them. You want to get their mind settled. A massage is the best way to do it. Tell them you want them to wear a blindfold. That way they can't see nothing.
It keeps their focus on the feelings, the touch.
Yes.
Versus, oh, I've still got to do this. And, oh, I see over there that I didn't put away laundry. And, oh, I see over there.
Yep. And add some sensual music. Let some music play either in the background where you both can hear it, or put on some kind of headphones, or if they have earbuds, pick out a few songs that you can have them to put in their phone.
This is not about getting your sex on.
Oh, no. So in the beginning, I know in our previous episodes, one of the pros that I like for being a dominant is there is times I can be selfish. I can get what I want out of, whether it's sex, whether it's during the day, whether it's something that we're out doing. I know that I can say, this is what I want, and I can have it done. So I can be selfish because we have established the dominant submissive relationship.
Yes, sir.
If you are trying to show in subtle ways, you cannot be selfish. At this point in time, it is not about you as the dom. This is about you showing who you are wanting to be your submissive, that they can trust you by doing these things, and that you are watching what they enjoy.
And you're taking care of them.
You're taking care of them, and it's like a reward. Like you said, we got a reward system.
Right. Why would I do any of it if we're already married? We're 10 years down the road. Why would I do it?
Right.
Well, if I'm not feeling like I'm getting the attention that I need, and suddenly you say to me, hey, if you put this blindfold on, I just want to massage you. This isn't about me. I
Right.
just noticed that you're having a rough time. Guess what? I'm going to be like, all right, I'll put that blindfold on.
Yep.
Have at it, babe.
So you might give 1 or 2 massages,
And not have
not
anything
not
sexual
have
about
anything
it.
sexual, but I am here to tell you,
Hmm.
I don't know a whole lot of people that can't get fully relaxed from a sensual massage that has been blindfolded, has been listening to music, that has got their mind settled, that doesn't get turned on.
Right. By the touch of the hands and the breath and the
Yep.
every bit of it is a turn on
Yep.
once your brain clicks off and
Right.
you're in the moment.
So try it a few times. Maybe the 3rd or 4th time, pay a little extra close attention to those special zones. Rub the breast a little bit more than you normally do.
Don't just sit on them though. You're
No.
going to do a little bit more
But
just because you're
pay
trying
a little more
to and
attention to 'em.
watch for goosebumps.
Yeah, goosebumps
Watch
are
for
the
the
greatest.
goosebumps raising on their skin. See when they react and they shiver a little and do that a couple of times
Right.
because erogenous zones aren't just breasts.
No,
They're not just
their ears,
back of the
they're
knee.
the neck, the back of the neck. There is tons. Google it. Google erogenous zones. Unless you're like me and just don't know how the hell to spell it. But Google has gotten pretty good at guessing. You get close, it will get there. But Google it. Find those other erogenous zones other than the breast and the clits and all that. Pay special
And the
attention to those.
penises.
Well, yeah, Again, I forget. I'm looking at it from our life.
Right.
But yes. But pay attention to those. Start giving extra attention to those, and those will really start heating them up and turning them on, and then it will eventually turn into sexual activity.
Right. Because I think a lot of times people don't have sex because they're tired and because
Right.
they're not in the mood. Well, guess what? I'm never going to be in the mood if we don't do or have activities
Right.
that start getting me in the mood.
Right.
And me getting pampered a little bit puts me in the mood.
Now, I'm here to tell you, as the dominant, there has been times we've come to bed where I was dog-ass tired.
Uh-huh.
But
I know.
But you have noticed a little stiffness in my neck or something bothering me, or me walking like a 90-year-old, and we come to bed and you're like, let me just rub you for 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
And about 2 minutes and 37 seconds into it, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. That's all it takes. I'm ready to flip over and take back that control. But it does feel good for me as a dominant to get rubbed. I love my back scratched. I love the little massages. I love all that stuff.
But if you want to be the dominant and we're starting this, then you're going to have to give a little bit more in order to
Right.
get that later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely give
I mean,
a lot.
I feel like I've always been the person to give that. And when I don't, when
Right.
I'm sick or when we're both tired or whatever, then you start feeling neglected and you don't like feeling neglected.
No,
So
I don't know very many people that do feel like feeling
right.
neglected.
And it's amazing how little it takes to make you happy
Right.
between us. I mean, we go to the club, we do all these things,
Oh, yeah.
but our personal life can take a hit from that.
You can.
And we have to make sure that we take care of it in our room and
Yep.
in our bed and in our personal life.
And we do. But by doing these subtle little things, that might be the door that opens
Exactly.
to then
Those were my
setting down
exact words.
to communicate about it. Long-term relationships, and if you don't have that direct line of communication or you feel that it's going to cause an argument, here is some very small but yet huge moves that you can do. Doms, pay very close attention to your submissives. You have to know their reactions. You have to know their body language. You have to know, are they enjoying it or are they not?
Yeah, the first thing you have to do is study them because
Yes.
that's what you do. You study me thoroughly. When
Yes.
you're doing anything, you watch for the slightest reaction. I feel your eyes on me. That's how
All
intense
the
it
time.
is.
All the time I'm watching.
And even just with others that we put up with, that you put on the cross or that
Right.
we play at the club because they want to experience things. You are very focused.
Yep. And I feel that as a Dom, you should be. But if you get these positive reactions from all these subtle little movements and they seem to really be enjoying it, there's the key to open the door to have a sit down and say, okay, you remember me doing this and you remember me doing that. I'm trying to be a dominant to you. You know, you seem to enjoy it. Can we start taking it a little further?
Exactly.
That could be how you start your dominant submissive relationship. It may go great. It still may not go very good at all, but you have to pay attention. You have to observe. You have to learn your partner.
Right. And then you can give them real life examples of things that you've
Right.
done that you consider being a dominant.
Yep.
And it's like always maintain your own self-worth, your
Yes.
own confidence, your own as a dominant. These things are so important in your
Right.
relationship for another partner to say, I trust you enough to give you this.
Right. So we hope these little tips helped. I know it was kind of short, and we've got a lot more to talk about. So we will take another opportunity in another episode to build upon this, but we want to give you something to start with if
Small
you're
bites.
interested, and you can take it from there. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. We'll see you all next week.
Yay. Have a great one.